Awesome. So, Evan, thank you so much for joining with us today for this interview. It's really such an honor to have you here.
Pleasure to be here, guys. Very happy to be here. Let me know how I can add value today. Happy to give you some time and see if I can be of any value to the people listening today and watching today.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so grateful for your time. I'm also curious just about your journey altogether and your entrepreneurship. I'm just curious, are you in New Delhi right now?
Yes, I am. I'm calling in from New Delhi right now, India. I've been here for a while. I was in the Himalayan mountains, and I'm going now next to Moscow this weekend to speak at a conference there. About my entrepreneurial journey, I got started pretty early. I was one of the first 100 guys to build apps for the iPhone. This was when about 12 years old, 13 years old. I built about 30 apps. Sold my first company when I was 17. Made a few million from that. Started investing that back into different tech startups. Yeah. So I started built into the tech space. Was the first 100 guys to make apps for the iPhone. This was when I was 13 years old. Built about 30 apps. Sold my first company when I was 17 for a few $1 million. And then from there on, basically started investing in other companies. I've been investing in over 100 tech companies till now. And my main focus is my startup studio incubator, where we work with non-tech entrepreneurs who have great ideas, but they lack the technical skill set to actually build and take companies from the ground up. And that's what we've been doing for a while. The combined market cap of our company is in excess of $10 billion. We have tens of millions of users across dozens of countries. And yeah, that's a small gist about my career. I mean, I'm very diversified. I'm always into new technologies, very early into VR, AR, AI, all upcoming new tech. So that's what I'm focused on. I'm also heavy in blockchain. Do a lot of cryptocurrency projects, invest in them, incubate them, and build companies. That's a small idea of what I do.
That's such an amazing journey that you have, and I'm really surprised how you navigated that. Oh, okay. So yeah, in regard to the blockchain industry, I'm just curious about how it was that you started that. Were you involved in like any internships? Did you kind of take that initiative up on your own? Um, but yeah, essentially that. How did you start getting into blockchain and
I
cryptocurrency?
bought my first Bitcoin when I was in 2014 when I was living in San Francisco. And then once you got into it, you really realize how interesting the technology and space is. Blockchain to me is about giving power back to the people, right? I mean, currently we live in a very centralized world where we have banks and governments that came into place 200-300 years ago when we started doing business with people outside of our local regions. But what we've seen is these banks and governments have become extremely corrupt over the last few decades. So blockchain is and Bitcoin is a mode of money, a value transfer that's decentralized. And to me, it's finally a way to give power back to the people. We don't need to depend on a central authority. It's peer-to-peer trust. And once you get into that, you see how many new applications can be built on top of blockchains, right? You can implement smart contracts. You can build in decentralized finance. And it's a lot more efficient. And that's what blockchain is exciting to me about. And that's what I've been in this space. Um, and I foresee a big future for it. And yeah, I mean, anybody who asks me right now what should they do, I mean, I always tell them do what you love. That's the first thing. And second, if you don't make money from what you love, get into DeFi. Decentralized finance is the future. It's changing how the world of finance runs. And um, yeah, I never
You
did
know,
internships. No. I mean, I sold my first company when I was 17 years old. I was still in high school. I made a couple $1 million from that and started investing that into other companies. I've always been building my own companies. I never really went and did internships. It really depends on you, right? I mean, some people are entrepreneurs and builders, and others are not. They're not fit for that, right? So I've always been an entrepreneur myself, and I'm always building and investing in new companies every other week. So I never really got into internships at all, mate. Yeah, I didn't even go to university. So I didn't even go to university at all. I think it's a waste of time if you want to build a business. You don't really need to go to university.
I'm curious about how it is that you found, like how do you find these different companies to invest in? Like how is it that you come about that? Are you partnered with certain people or?
I mean, it's mostly all inbound deal flow, right? We have people reaching. I mean, I've spoken at hundreds of events in person to hundreds of thousands of people. Spoken for Google, a bunch of universities. I've spoken at a bunch of blockchain events, over half a dozen TED Talks, a lot of different presentations, right? So, and then people reach out to me and they say they have this idea, and if anybody watching this even wants to reach out, they can, right? I mean, I'm very approachable, and then also I've done a bunch of I've done a bunch of articles. I write for Forbes, for Cointelegraph, for Cryptonomics. So everywhere, basically, I'm out there. I'm talking about what I'm doing, and then people are reaching out. Even just through my Instagram, I get thousands of people sending me ideas. Anybody who's serious would actually use email. And then if any idea that we like, we invest in them. I reserve the full right myself. If I like it, I invest in it. But that's pretty much about it. There's no fixed way of how we decide. It's all 100% based on my choice. And I look for people with big ideas and big vision, right? I look for people who can really make something cool happen. I look for people who, who have that experience, or maybe have a strategic advantage in the industry that they're working in, like a lawyer or a real estate guy or an accountant who found inefficiencies in the market that they're in, and they know they can build a technology solution, a technological product that will make it a lot more easier for everybody else.
So whenever it is that you're supporting these companies, how long term do you tend to? So in regard to the bigger companies, how is it that you like keep track that, you're meeting your goals and that everything is, actually like thriving?
I mean, it's like, people are reporting to me. I mean, I am at the higher level where people are reporting to me. I'm acting as the executive level role or the investor role. So people are telling me what's been happening. My main role as a founder right now is making deals happen, and then delegating the work. I'm not doing any of the grunt work myself. There's people behind me who do a lot of it. I mean, I have 200 engineers working full time for me directly, and then indirectly many more thousands of people that have worked with me for the different many 100+ companies that I'm invested in, right? So and I reserve the right. I barely answer to people, so I reserve the right when I want to do what I want to do. My biggest priority in life has been my freedom, right? So if one company I lose interest in, I don't have to answer them. I could walk away in that moment. None of these companies I'm dependent on. I do this because I want to leave a legacy behind. I want to create a positive impact in a lot of people's life and provide value. And money is a byproduct of creating value. But the minute I lose interest in something, I don't spend any more time in it. I just leave it. That's it.
So what would you say would be your top 3 values that you kind of live by?
I mean, it's a very broad question. If you mean the top 3 values in per se, like uh, qualities that I look for in an entrepreneur, or if you ask me the 3 top qualities that I look for in an entrepreneur would be persistence. That you got to be persistent in the face of all obstacles, right? You cannot give up. You got to keep going. You can't give up in any face of obstacles. So you got to be persistent. Second is leverage. Learn how to leverage, right? You've got to have the leverage of code. You build the app once, billions of people can download it. Leverage of labor. You have people working for you, so their results going and make an impact for you. Leverage of money, so you have your money working for you. So there's different kinds of leverage that you need to look into and always learn how to leverage. Persistence, leverage, and like you got to have a big vision, right? You got to dream big. You got to the bigger you go dream, the better it is. And even if you fail at your big dream, even you're still considered great because you're halfway through your main goals. If you aim for the moon and you miss, you'll hit a star, right? That kind of concept. But yeah.
Right. I think it's very important that we all have goals.
Cool.
I'm just kind of curious, do you have any salient failures so
Oh
far?
yeah, I mean, failures is a big part of my life, right? I mean, a lot of the times that my companies I'm involved in fail. Majority of the companies I'm actually involved in do fail because we get involved in companies in pre-seed round and early on, right? And that's what it is. So end of the day, failure is a part of it, but you only really never fail if you do nothing, say nothing, or be nothing. So just got to understand that this failure is a stepping stone in your journey to success. So when you come across failure, you learn from it, right? It's only a failure if you don't learn from it. So if you focus on learning why that thing failed and using that in your next step in life, you always end up well for you. I mean, that's what happened with me, right? I mean, I'm successful today because I failed so many times at building companies. I know what works and what doesn't work. I have experience about that from previous failures, and it's very important to know that. Yeah.
Right. I totally understand that. And it's such a journey. I mean, you're learning a lot of good things through your failures, and you're bound to make mistakes over and over again, but it's how we bounce back from those.
100%. It's an important part of your journey to success.
I'm sorry, Evan, do you mind repeating that again?
I said it's an important part in your journey to success. The failure is an important part in the journey to success.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just curious, your team, like how many people do you have recruited, just like that you're working with on an everyday basis?
I mean, team as in the team that reports directly to me. I have 200 engineers who work full time for me, building new products. And then I partner with dozens of entrepreneurs that work with me to build my companies with them. They come to me with ideas and we co-found companies with them. But I'm also invested in many, many diverse industries. I'm in 20 plus industries. I have vodka companies. I have health tech companies, VR companies, fashion companies, all different kinds of industries and companies, real estate companies. So it's not just one thing that I'm in, and it's different teams and different industries and different companies.
So, do you have any challenges so far that you've been overcoming recently, or that you've struggled to overcome?
I mean, I don't. I mean, there's not a certain challenge that I would want to talk about, but I mean, everybody has their own challenges, right? I mean, the key is you got to be persistent in the face of all obstacles and challenges. That's what I told you, right? I mean, you gotta. I'm not scared. I'm not. I don't fear any challenge, right? So anything that comes along my way, I am confident enough in myself, believe that I can overcome it. If I put in enough time and resources and effort, there's no challenge that's too big, right? If you can dream it, you can believe it. It's the importance is the mindset. You got to have the right mindset to really achieve and believe that you can overcome any challenge.
Okay, so how does India is India pretty like receptive to blockchain? Like, how is it that they feel about it? Do they support it? Are they a little bit different? Like,
I mean,
what's going on
India
in India?
is a billion people, right? So you got to remember that it's like it's 5 times the people of America, 1/5 the space. It's twice the people in Europe, 1/10 the space, right? So it's a big country. It's a lot of different people in one place. So when you talk about India as one place, yeah, the government, it's legal right now to trade crypto. The government there's rumors around that it's illegal, but that's not the case. And there's rumors they'll try to ban it. But what people need to understand is you can't really ban Bitcoin. You can't block. The only thing they can do is they can tell people to stay away from, not use it, but they can't really prevent people. There's no way they can track it, right? That's the whole premise of blockchain, that it's out of the control of a single entity or a government. So at the end of the day, the smart people, they're using it. And the only thing the government will ever achieve, if they actually end up banning it, which I doubt, is that they will slow the progress of their own citizens. But India is a big amount of the global daily crypto transactions and volume. Like India is over 10% of the global crypto volume, as far as I'm aware, worldwide. So it's Bitcoin and blockchain are here to stay in India. And I think some of the smartest engineers in the world who build these products and these projects, who work on the blockchain, they come from India. I had my own crypto investment bank in India where we worked with multiple projects and took them to market. Anybody who wanted to do a token sale or IC or IDO, they came to us and we took them to market, raised tens of millions of dollars for them, delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in return for our investors. At the same time, I also opened the world's first blockchain center in India. So we opened up a blockchain center and even that did well. So that's what I would say. I mean, India is a great market for blockchain and we'll see how it goes. But it's a very big market. So it's hard to generalize and stereotype it as one market.
Okay, so if you had 1 minute to describe yourself, what is it that you would say?
Yeah, about me. I mean, I don't usually talk a lot about myself, but I'm a proud entrepreneur, angel investor. I build and invest in fast-growing companies. I've been doing that ever since I was 13 years of age. Had a pretty good run at it. My biggest priority in life is my freedom. I do what I want, when I want, and where I want. I always focus on creating value for others. The more value I create, the more success I've gained. If somebody wants to know a little bit more about me, they're welcome to watch the many TV shows that I've been the focus of, see many of my speeches, or just go on evanluthra.com. And I'm very approachable. You can reach me at evan@evanluthra.com. I'm always looking for new companies and ideas to invest in. And you can follow me on Instagram at Evan Luthra and also on BigCloud at Evan Luthra. All the best, guys. That's all I can say.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. It's greatly appreciated, Evan. It's been an honor to have you here and to learn a little bit more about you and how you got into stocks and investments and things like that. So thank you once again for coming.
Perfect, guys. It was a pleasure to be here. And like I said, anyone wants to reach out, they're very approachable. Take care. All the best.